Hey guys, I'm really excited to do this video of the day. It's because it's so important. So I feel like one of the things I want to say is you see me probably against this fence a lot. I've stayed at this place a lot and I'm very thankful for the person who's let me stay here. They were a godsend this morning when, what I want to say is you see me here at this place, but what you didn't see is yesterday I walked like 3 miles with carrying everything I own to go to a hotel room with another friend flew in from Florida. I wanted to see that friend and everything. It was really good. But this morning I kind of woke up. It was like a crisis because I was like, I've got to now. He had donated me, he had went and bought some boots for me and some clothes. But then like this morning, it was like, I've got to relocate again already as soon as I wake up. Plans were a little changed from what I thought the original plan was. And it was like, I've got to now find a plan B and relocate all of this stuff right now. And I'm so glad I could stay here. What's happened is I'm gonna stay here for a little bit today, and then I'm gonna go over to somewhere else I've been staying close by. It's just worked out really good for the next 24 hours. I've got a plan, and I'm just so thankful for all the people involved. I'm doing something I don't normally do. I'm talking a little bit about the present situation with the present people involved, and it's all good, but I don't normally do that. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about a story or something that happened to me when I had my place. So when I had my place, I had a guy come over. I liked him. He was a nice fella. I liked him a lot, actually. He came over one time. We had a good time. And then he went to the train station, and I remember we were both, I was going downtown for something, and I went with him, and he got off at the train stop. Well, he came over again one time, and this next time he came over, he didn't have a place. The next time he came over, he was just kind of like, it was all contingent upon, could I get him some bus fare? I think he was going to Colorado Springs. This was like 2.5 years ago. And he was just like, I'll come over, we have a good time, but I absolutely need to know if I can have his bus fare. And I was like, yeah, you can. But it was just, when you have someone over that doesn't have a place, they might, first thing I like to do is like take a shower and just kind of like recalibrate all my stuff and get quiet. And I noticed this too, when I have people over my place, that have a place, they would come and they would just, kind of, take a shower or whatever, and they would just kind of like, they didn't want anything, they just wanted peace, silence, be in a little corner. Like they're not really, full of life and full of just what it is their bodies. They've been homeless for so long. They've been going from place to place to place to place. New environment, get on a new train, get on a new bus, new direction, new time, something new all the time. This morning I went to the breakfast at the hotel. It was like them kids were screaming at that continental breakfast area, and it's just like, I gotta get out there. I can't stand it. So like for me right now, and like for that guy 2.5 years ago, it was just he needed to get a bus fare, because if he got to Colorado Springs, he knew probably something good was happening, some more permanence, an opportunity for him to slow down a little bit. But it was like he had to have that bus fare to get there. He had to kind of have me to get. I hadn't heard from him. I hope he's doing well. He might not be alive. Good chance. And I can't hold the camera steady right now. We got some iPhone camera stabilization, but I can kind of tell it's gonna be a jagged video. But I'm really glad to be right back here. But what you didn't see, but you might have seen this fence before in other videos, but you haven't seen all the miles my body has put on, walking, literally, carrying everything I own just to get somewhere for that little spot, like right then. And you might be wondering, the homeless shelter is not just the option. It's not the magical option, because the homeless shelter is always on the go too. You can't just stay at the homeless shelter all the time. If you try to stay at the permanent bed, it's gonna take you a while to get in there. If you're late for any reason, like I was 13 minutes late one time, you're out of there. They won't let you come get your stuff that night. You have to come back. You have to survive later on after that night, somehow, somewhere else, and then you gotta come back and get your stuff if they didn't throw it away. The homeless shelter is dangerous. There is lots of people in there that are, 70% of homeless men are convicts. That is the environment when you go to a homeless shelter that you're in. That's why people like me, gay men, we don't want to be in there at all, ever, because we are already targets for being gay. And I was at the homeless shelter one time, and I threw up 6 times and one night. So it's like, this is how we have to survive. And it's like, this man here is doing everything he can, but like, it's not, I need a place to stay. I have to be somewhere with all my stuff all the time. like anybody, you know? You can't just sometimes I think about, you know, when I walk in Broadway, a big street that's in here in Denver, the oldest street in Denver, really, the first one that they widened. They made it so big, it was such a destination back in the Wild West for, you know, just commerce and everything. They had to make the street bigger. It's the first one they did like that. And I think sometimes, what would happen if I just stopped moving? What would happen is I'd be like the people, and I've seen it. You've probably seen this too. People just sleeping on the sidewalk. Those people have stopped moving. It's so heartbreaking. I think about what would happen if I go into a tent one time. There's tents on the street in a big city where you're at. You probably see them too. If I went into a tent one time, I probably would never leave it. The tent life would be for me. I've never done heroin, ever, never will. But if I went to a tent one time, I'd probably just say, whoever's in there, give it to me. That is how bad it is. This is why, when Chrissy White, who's leading that company in Bluefield, she said, if you needed help, Nate, you should have asked for it after she's already seen me been homeless for over a year. She said she'd help me. She gave me hope for a few days, and then she said, I ain't helping you. And then she blocked me. She's going to find out this video is about her, featuring her from someone else, because she ain't a leader. She ain't. I don't think she needs to be employed by Dish anymore, or any company. I think she's a very bad person. What she did to me, because she gave me hope that this would all stop. And then she changed her mind. It was not right of her. But I want to say thank you to all the people that watching this video that seen me the last few days. You guys are my heroes. So much. We're all doing the best we can. And I want you to know, when you're homeless, and maybe probably won't be another homeless person doing videos like this that I don't think that you'll see, because no other homeless person I know is doing this kind of stuff. But you know, you see me next to this fence. I talked about, you know, there's that video when I talked about all the snow in the world was not going to stop us from getting to West Virginia, and some other videos I've done. I've been right here a lot. I'm glad to be here. But there's only one bedroom here. It's not enough space. I can't just live here. I need a job, but I've also got to relocate every several hours somewhere with everything I have all the time. It is not, I've been doing this for like over 400, like close to 450 days. Not sure what day it is right now, but like, this is what you see. I'm gonna link probably to the video I did earlier today, so it's all in one place. Take another video down. I'm gonna link to like the crisis I was in this morning. We're carrying all this stuff, and like I had already carried everything I owned, and then I got boots, and I got more clothes, which is something good I needed, but I could not carry all that stuff that I had already carried, the stuff that I had before with me less than 12 hours ago, all the way from the train stations, like 3 miles. You just can't do it. Your body just cannot keep doing it. The more you do this, the more prone you are to accidents. So when I was at Starbucks, they talked about repetitive motion injury. Well, when you get up and you go to a new place all the time, and there's ice and snow on the ground. When you get up and like you're constantly on the go, somewhere new, different destination, and you betcha I went by on the train by my old Colorado station, by my old station, and it's like every time I go by there, I'm like, I used to live up this used to be a stop I used to get off in where my apartment was. You're carrying all that emotional baggage too. It's real all the time. There's never a break from it. So this is why I need people to donate to GoFundMe in a way that I can like have a place to stay for like 2 weeks. A place I can go and come. If I need to go to 7-Eleven in the middle of the night, I can go and come back. So I can go to work enough times. If I make enough money, I can rent a room and not be homeless anymore. I've always known this. It's never been like Nate didn't know what to do. Nate has always known since I first was homeless in the Atlanta Greyhound station over a year ago. I have always known that's what I needed to do to be successful, but I just cannot stay in one place long enough to make that happen. Hey guys, so today's video of the day is just me packing up. This is the hotel room I was in last night. This is all the nice stuff that my friend gave me. He left, he had appointments to go do, and checkouts at 12, it's about 11:30. I just want you to see, so this is probably like just an average day for anyone checking out a hotel, right? All this stuff is just my stuff. I gotta pack it up.
My friend had to go. Checkout's at 12. I've got to pack up and I've got to move somewhere. I've got to move all of this stuff. Here's my backpack that I came with. Then I walked 3 miles from the train station over here too. I've got to also now move all of this stuff that my friend just gave me. Somewhere, it's got to go somewhere. He gave it to me. It's important. But do you see, like, my body might look fine in the reflection there, right? But my body has already picked up and relocated all of the things that I have over 300 times to 300 new places. Just this year alone, being homeless. That's what happens. So do you understand that, like, my brain cannot continue to process all this information? What if I left that phone charger? Do you know what a crisis that is? How am I going to get another phone charger with no money? How am I going to be able to communicate with anyone? All of this is always on my mind all of the time. I just got here about 12 hours ago. I've got to get up and relocate and move all this stuff and find a place to put it. And then I have to find, fortunately, I've already solved that problem. Someone is coming. Thank God. But then I have to worry about where am I going to sleep tonight, because where am I putting this stuff is not where I can sleep tonight. This is constantly always on the go. And then you wonder, like, why can't I just get a job? Well, I have got to go and find a place to put all of this stuff all of the time. This is why it is so important. This is why Chrissy, who said she could help and then she changed her mind and did not help, this is what she is making me do.